Good day. This is Mikrotik basic setup for your initial configuration Mikrotik router. If you are using RB 450, RB 750, you can do a setup in which it will be auto configured for you. But if you are using 1100 and 1200, you have to manually set it up by yourself. And if you are working in an academic environment or for your business center, there are 6 major settings you need to do on a Mikrotik router. Most of them are found under the IP menu. The first one is address. You need to create address for your network. The address, then the interface in which those address will be applied. The second one that you have to set up will be immediately after you set up address. The second will be your DNS. The DNS are sometimes from your provider, and sometimes if you don't have that, you have to use Google. Can you know that without DNS your setup is not going to browse the internet? So the DNS is very important. If you have a local server, you can add the IP of those servers and the name of local DNS servers that you want to be working under static DNS. The third thing you need to create is DHCP server. The DHCP server will create two things for you. We create the network and the DHCP pool in which your clients will be receiving the IP from DHCP requests. So in order to create DHCP is made easy for us by clicking on DHCP setup, DHCP initial interface. You can click on next for address space next, gateway if the gateway you want next. Then the next thing is which DHCP do you want to give her. Note, you must have give DNS. The DNS will be added automatically here. You see invalid pool is because I have not set up a DNS. So you can easily create DHCP here. Now the fourth thing you need to create after DHCP server, once DHCP server has been created, your IP address is given. Check the network is a must. Check the network, make sure DNS is there. If DNS is not there, manually put the DNS server there and make sure the gateway is there. The fourth thing will be your IP route. To go to route, first thing is for you to set up your default route by clicking on the heart sign. Under gateway, the gateway given by a provider or the network of the server you are trying to go to, the interface at time will automatically get. Make sure the type is on Unicast. You don't need to set up distance or scope unless you are creating a failover in which you have two different provider. The next thing to set, note under gateway will be your outgoing. That's one thing you need to know. The next thing to set up is your firewall. Under firewall, you have to, if you want to masquerade, you have to select your source NAT and the source NAT address. Then you have to select the interface. Sometimes you have to, most of the time you have to choose one of these. Is either you type the IP or you use the interface. Then under action, you select masquerade. Then you apply. I'm not going to do much for today because this is already configured. I will get you a new router very soon, and I will do the setup from the scratch. There are some other things I want you to know also is that you need to set up under system, you need to set up your identity where you type the name of your router so that when you go to file and you save your backup, you can easily see the date. And the other thing under system is to set the time. There's NTP client to set the time so that when you are saving and or your system is rebooting under log, you can be able to know the time is rebooting or who is logging with anything. Now the last thing I will talk about is under IP is hotspot. If you want to set up hotspots, you go to server, user, you set up server from add. But I will tell you, instead of doing that, is the best thing to set up is to go through hotspot setup wizard. The interface you want to set up the hotspot, make sure it's not your incoming, it's not the one giving you internet. The client that will be receiving the interface. Next, it will be masqueraded, so you don't need to configure the address pool. We will take it from the DNS server pool we've already designed the other time. The certificate, next and OK. The only thing you need to do after setting hotspot is to set up a user account or a common password. Now if you want to use a radio server, you can easily go to profile, you will see radius and select it to make sure cookie is not on, and make sure you select these three options there. One other thing is you need to be aware that before you set up DNS, you must confirm that your internet is already working, that your network is browsing. Thank you. Till I come again next time. Bye for now.